still here, bro.
It's still here. It's still got his stupid paper.
It's still here. It's not going anywhere. Listen, hello, welcome to AFTV News Daily with me, Cecil G, and I've got Robbie with me.
Big up, bro.
What's going on? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. You know what? I'm a bit gutted that there's no football this weekend. You know what I mean? I mean, all right. England are playing Andorra, and I'm not excited. Right? So
you're not excited, bro.
Big up to England last night. Actually, they beat Hungary 4-0.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it, and you know, some of the racism in that game was absolutely disgusting. But I'll focus on the football, and yeah, it was a good win for England. Saka come on right near the end, but I'm cool with that. I don't want him to play too much because I don't want the players getting injured.
No, that's a familiar theme right now. A lot of players getting injured at Arsenal, so you're right to not wanting to go on. Missing the fact that, you know, people would say, I bet you're glad Arsenal are not playing this weekend. I'm missing the fact that we're not playing this weekend. And I think Mikel Arteta would have liked to have been playing that game against Norwich this weekend. I think. Why do you say that? To bed in the new players, or just?
Just because the fact that, you know, we got beaten that game 5-0 against Man City, and then you've got to sit and stew for 2 weeks. I mean, you could argue that for 2 weeks you've got time to bed in new players and stuff like that. Speak to the players and say, I reckon if you spoke to Mikel Arteta, he would have liked to have just dived in with a game and just concentrate on the next game ahead. But that's interesting. What
about the weekend game? So obviously not the weekend game, the game against England, game we just played, we won, right? Did you find that interesting? You said you don't watch on Sunday, Andorra's gonna be boring, but did you find that one exciting at all?
No, it weren't. The game against Hungary last night, it wasn't exciting at all. It was the first half was really, really boring, and the second half, England absolutely wiped the floor with him. Good performance by England, but I don't know. I guess after the Euros, it's a bit of a come down watching a qualifier.
They're boring, the qualifiers. They always normally are.
But I want to see the Premier League football back.
All right, let's quickly talk about. You spoke about injuries there, that you don't want to risk. Obviously, Saka getting injured. I'm going to give some news now that Mohamed El Neni, unfortunately, is injured. He won't play. This is from Chris Wheatley. He won't play for Egypt against Gabon due to the muscle injury he suffered against an Arsenal's friendly against Brentford. That was behind closed doors. So he's now injured. We told it's not too serious, but he was taken off early at Brentford. So that means. So El Neni's out, Xhaka's out, obviously, because he's been red carded and COVID. He's been red carded and COVID. Partey, they're saying after the international break he's available. He has to go in though, because
I hope so.
I don't see who else. We've got Partey, Lokonga. I mean, that's it. We might have. I mean, make the Nars if you want to throw him in there, but it's a worry.
You know what? You could put into that holding midfield position. You could put if say Partey weren't back, you could actually put Callum Chambers in there. Because he did play in that position when he was at Fulham on loan. And they reckon that he done really, really well there.
Would you do that?
If worse comes to the worst, I think he might be better. He's not going to have to jump for as many headers. So he might be better there than what he is playing as a centre-back. But as an emergency, he can play in that position. But hopefully Thomas Partey will be fit. Yeah. Partey and Lokonga is what I want to see anyway. I don't really want to see El Neni starting games in that position. I don't really want to see Xhaka starting games in that position. I'd like to see Sambi Lokonga, who made his debut yesterday for Belgium and did well.
He done well.
And
really well.
Thomas Partey, I think that's a much stronger midfield, more dynamic.
Yep.
And I'd like to see how that gets on.
Okay, let's talk about it. So say if Partey is not available, he probably will be, but if he's not, so we've got Lokonga. You said, would you put Callum Chambers as your top of your list over, let's say, Ben White can play in defensive midfield, so can Tomiyasu, has been dubbed to play there as well, apparently in defensive midfield. Yeah, he plays there, centre back and right back. Obviously, he's mainly a right back.
I'll put Chambers there.
Over Ben White and
yeah. I'll put Chambers there because he played a season there for Fulham. So I'll put him in there. I'll try him in there and see how we get on. As I said, hopefully it doesn't come to that. This is the thing now. We've trimmed the squad a lot. So, you know, you could have had Torreira there, you could have had Guendouzi there, but obviously so the squad's really trimmed down. I'll tell you what, this season we can't afford loads of injuries. You know, I mean, we should be all right because we've got a lot less games to play. Yep. Because there's no European football. But the squad has been trimmed and has been trimmed right down. That means, you know, if there's lots of injuries in certain positions, there's problems. But I think, you know, if Thomas Partey is fit, and surely he's going to be fit. I mean,
how
many weeks has he been out?
I know it's ridiculous. A player that's never been injured or had a severe injury until coming to Arsenal. You couldn't write this stuff. You really couldn't.
And now he's injured every minute.
Yeah, every
and even
second.
that injury he got, you know what I mean, getting injured in a pre-season game against Chelsea, the very same teams that we ended up then losing to. You know what I mean? We definitely need Thomas Partey back. He looked Arsenal's best player in pre-season.
Okay, I'm glad. I was going to say when because I haven't seen him play too much.
In pre-season, he was our best player. He was dynamic.
Yep.
He was strong. He was progressing the ball. It looked like I was looking at it, I was thinking, yes,
this is it.
At last, this is what we need in that midfield. And then he's out injured, you know? And we really missed him in those first couple games. Yeah, we really did.
We're going to obviously speak about our strongest 11. Do you think with our strongest 11, so one you've chosen or I've chosen, we can definitely turn it around going into the following games. Obviously, Norwich, Tottenham. If Arteta was to pick the 11 that you've got, do you believe that could challenge to get us back up the table?
I feel so, but it's also on him. It's also what are the tactics. That's where Mikel Arteta is going to be judged right now. And I think the game coming up against Norwich next weekend is a huge game for Mikel Arteta. He has to win that.
Massive.
As far as I'm concerned, he has to win that.
If he doesn't, is it for you? Let's say for you, because they want to hear from you. Is it a see you later Arteta, or is it listen, give him time? The player's still on.
See you later. For me personally,
yeah.
If he loses to Norwich and we've lost our first 4 games,
is that fair to say that he hasn't got the whole team? Rob Xhaka will be out. There'll be players that Tomiyasu's only he hasn't played a game.
See you later. Lose at home to Norwich after we've lost 3 on the bounce. We're bottom of the league. Yeah. Lose 4 in a row, bottom of the league. See you later.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I've said it many times. I want Mikel Arteta to succeed. I love to see young managers succeeding. But, you know, that would be unforgivable. 4 games in a row and you lost to Norwich.
Even if it's close, Rob. 1-0 Norwich. Even if it's close, it's a close game. The boys are fighting. Good performance. Wow, you're adamant on that. I didn't know.
It's serious now. It's not a matter of whether you like someone or whether you agree. It's results business. And if you lose 4 games in a row, no, man.
Okay, draw. Come on.
No.
All right.
I'm
trying to give him the benefit of that.
Personally, for me, it's a must-win game. He has to win it.
Yeah, it would be.
He has to win. I think.
There's a lot of players out. There's a lot of players out for that game.
Well, I just feel psychologically, if he doesn't win that game, you start to think to yourself, he's never going to turn it around.
Yeah.
You just start to get that feeling. He has to win it. He has to win that game.
Okay.
I don't know what people out there feel about it, but for me...
I wonder what the comments are saying. Obviously, I just was on live on Instagram and there was fans saying back Arteta. There's 2 guys that come on and said, listen, I think we should stick with him. But I hear what you're saying.
Of course,
people have their opinions.
Listen, I'm not saying, we go into that game next week and every single Arsenal fan must be behind the manager. And to be fair, I've been at all 4 games so far that we've played and the fans have been behind the manager. Nobody's been booing the manager. There's been no dissent. There's been people moaning about him amongst themselves on the terraces, but there's been no songs or anything like that or massive amounts of discontent. There's just been a bit of disbelief of what we watch on the pitch. I think if we lose to Norwich, that could change, and he has to win that game. That game is the game you win and start being on the track back to winning games and getting that winning sort of vibe back with the team. And I think we will win it. I do think we will win the game.
I agree.
Listen, I'd be absolutely shocked if we lost that game. It can happen. It's the Premier League. I think we will win the game, but he has to win it.
Yeah, fair. There's people in the comments are saying, I think me asking you the question, what happens if he loses? That's not my opinion. I think Arteta has passed it way from, not even from today, from last season. I keep saying it's the breaking point for me was the FA Cup game against Southampton. Then I was like, he made 7 changes, and I was just like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm kind of like, draw, loss. He has to go as well. I'm on that same vibe.
He has to win the game.
He has to win.
I think come on. I think if you're at a top club like Arsenal, it doesn't matter who you are, whatever manager you are, you can't lose 4 games in a row at the start of the season.
That's crazy.
That you're going into your 4th game and you've got no points. But as I said, I think he win the game. I think we'll beat Norwich.
Yeah, I think
the next test after that,
Burnley
away. That'll be a big test.
We got no points from last season.
Yep.
I
think if we go there and we've got everybody fit, I think we can win that as well. There's no reason why we shouldn't win that. We shouldn't be going to Burnley. We should be going to Burnley.
We didn't win last season, Rob. Both fixtures we didn't win.
But the previous seasons we've beaten them there, and I think if you actually. Yeah, I remember the game at the Emirates. You know,
Xhaka,
even the game at their place, it was Xhaka's mistake that gave them. Listen, you go to Burnley, you're getting for a tough game, but we should be beating Burnley as well. The toughest out of those 3 games is going to be playing Tottenham at home, and it's at home. And again, if we can get 2 wins under our belt, I fancy us against them as well. So he can turn it around.
Okay.
But he has to start with a win. He has to start with a win against Norwich. Yeah. That's the absolute must.
It's a must. Just quickly, Lokonga, we spoke about it earlier. He made his debut for Belgium. Just going to read this quickly here. Fantastic. Albert Sambi, Lokonga impressed for Belgium on his international debut in their 5-2 away win to Estonia. The 21-year-old came on for the final quarter of an hour, and he didn't look at all out of place in the midfield alongside Axel Witsel and Hans Van Aken.
Yeah,
so,
and you know what? I was debating this with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and we were talking about the fact that we didn't get Basuma. And, you know, Sambi Lokonga, basically what we've done, we've passed up on Basuma and we've gone for Sambi Lokonga, who obviously is a lot cheaper, but is highly rated. He could turn into being our own Basuma without us actually getting Basuma. If you know what I mean. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does turn into that type of player.
Lee said something like he didn't say he's Vieira quality. He said he had qualities that I think, oh wow, when I first saw Vieira.
So far, what I've seen of him, I've really liked him. You know, he was a captain at Anderlecht.
Yep.
He was Vincent Kompany, who's at Anderlecht, was raving about him.
Yep. So was Omri as well.
So let's see. Let's see what he does. You know, I mean, it's only been a couple of games. You can't judge a player for a couple of games, but I've liked what I've seen so far. I've liked what I've seen.
No, he's been quality. He's been quality. He's been a shining light in a
but
poor
he's a young
start.
player. He's a young player. That's the only thing I worry a bit about.
Pressure?
When I look at Arsenal, and I get the fact that they've gone out and they've brought in a load of young players and the profile of the players that they're bringing in. I do worry a bit that there's not enough senior players in the team now. You know,
that are performing. I think there's senior players in the team, Robbie, but it's the performing of these senior players has been absolutely abysmal.
And if you're a young player,
who do you look up to?
Yeah, and we don't want to be relying on Smith Rowe, Saka, Sambi Lokonga, you know, all these very young players, all 21, 22.
Yeah.
And so, and are they going to be able to cope with really bad situation if, say, we did lose to so we got to start getting some games won.
Yeah, it's a lot of
senior players got to lead. It's time for the senior players to stand up.
Yeah, facts, Robbie. I think it's unfair, like you just said there. I remember doing an ice bath and saying, it's unfair the pressure that Lokonga has, and everyone's just like, what do you mean it's pressure? He's playing for Arsenal, it comes with... And I was like, I know that, but it's unfair that he has to kind of be that main guy in the midfield, especially when Partey's out.
A lot of these players that have come in, a lot of these young players that have come in, would ordinarily not even be in the starting lineup.
Right.
They'd have to be easing their way in and stuff like that. They're having to be thrown straight in because they're the best players. You know, so I'm just looking at it and I'm saying to myself, you know, the senior players need to step up. They need to start producing now. I mean, and when you see one of your most senior players get sent off for a stupid red card last week at Man City, you start to question, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say to Sambi Lokonga? Calm down.
Yeah, facts.
When he's losing it a bit, you know? So they've got to step up.
It is a worry, and I always ask this question to people, is what senior player is a standout for you right now? And no one can never answer me the question. I asked Turkish there, I remember asking Lee, and
none of them.
There's not one. There's not one leading by example.
None of them. And
that's a worry.
That's what they have to turn around. I felt last season, Lacazette was one of those senior players who stood up and was leading. Unfortunately, we've not seen a lot of him this season.
David Luiz is that fair?
Yeah, David Luiz. I
think
I've said it before. I would have kept him.
I didn't know that.
Controversial.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Cool.
I said... No,
because I think last season we did, and I said that you should have a 1 year extension to be... did you say that as well? Do you agree?
I would have kept that... Right, so... If you're not bringing in a top-line centre-back, and we sent Saliba out, because I was looking forward to Saliba coming back and taking over that sort of role that David Luiz was, right? But I remember I looked on it and said, the only thing is, man, we're going to have a very young defence. Because
they brought in Ben White.
And Gabriel. Remember, Gabriel's young as well, you know?
True.
Right? So I was like, you know what? Maybe you keep David Luiz for another year just for the experience. And not only that, he's a very combative player. He's a very experienced player.
Very experienced.
I thought he played all right last year. And I mean, sometimes there was a couple of moments, as we all know, but there was those occasions where his passing was immaculate.
Bro, he started a lot of the attacks.
Yeah,
he was class.
And I think he's better than Holding and Chambers. So, and Murray as well.
Yeah, now you're speaking my language. Facts.
I'm a bit, a little bit worried that there's a bit of a lack of experience now. And the defence we've seen has been poor in the first few games. So, but Lacazette was standing up, but we're going to need a few of those. Aubameyang has to. You're the captain. He has to start standing up, and he's had a tough time of things. We know. He's
about
had a lot
that,
of things going on behind the scenes with it, but now this season is stepping up time.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Just want to say thank you everyone for the super chats. I'm going to let Robbie read through some of them. There's loads that have come in. Big up everyone in the comments and watching. Make sure you hit a like. Go on, Rob.
I can do a couple. Radman 88, he says, I'm so eager to see the Lokonga and Partey partnership. Me too, bro. I can't wait. Those are the two that I want to see in that midfield. I really want to see those two.
Are we being hopeful? And I want to see it as well.
Because
when we saw, I've been wanting Lacazette and Aubameyang that last season to play together, and it's just been a disappointment every time they're in the squad. I'm just hoping that one works. I don't want to. But
I'm hopeful, but that's what we bought them for. So I want to see them play. Radadam says Burnley were quite good versus Liverpool, who they lost to. They were. I remember I watched that game. We did a watch along for it on the Don Robbie channel. I thought Burnley were playing well. They were putting Liverpool under a lot of pressure. It was Liverpool's quality that told in the end, and it might be a similar thing with Arsenal. We've got to make our quality tell. I'll tell you one thing: when I saw them playing that game, they closed down and pressed Liverpool very hard. They were very physical, as we know they always are. Very physical. But they were very physical, and they didn't play out from the back. They just basically
went long.
Basically, they did what Brentford did to us. Right, but one thing about Burnley, they do that every week. So that is going to be a tough test.
It's going to be a very hard game.
It will be a tough game, but we're supposed to win those games, man.
Simple
as that. We're supposed to win those games.
Let me pause. Our Nav says, I know this is off topic, but I know Robbie doesn't want to answer this super chat. It says, just curious, how did Robbie get the Don nickname? Now, I'm going to answer that. He's not going to want to answer it himself. I know you don't want to. But he does a lot for a lot of people. Some things that don't even need to be mentioned on camera, or they don't get mentioned, don't get seen. But that's why he's a Don. He helps out the community. And it's for the fans, this whole AFTV thing. We never say we're the voice of fans, but he gives everyone opportunity every week.
I got a nickname?
Well, you're very... For me, you are a Don. A Don gives back to people. He helps people. He helps people. You've helped a lot of people from I
took out a couple of people. That's why. I mean, they're running up their mouth.
Don't tell them that. I'm trying to make it sound good, bro. I know you can't tell about the bad man side to you. Nah, he is the Don. There's many examples of it.
Took out a couple of people, man. A couple of hits were put out.
I'm trying to be nice.
William Bellinger says, for me, Lokonga needs to be a starter. After that red card for Xhaka, he has shown us that he's changed. And he cannot be. He hasn't changed, and he cannot be a starter anymore. He's done. And for me, why was Lokonga not even starting in that game? That's what done my head in last week.
That made no
against
sense.
City, but
he didn't play against West Brom. Everyone thought it was being saved for that game.
Williams says Aurier will be in Arsenal's starting 11. Shocking. I've been hearing this rumour, seeing this rumour written all day.
Go on, talk to them.
Please, fans, do not worry. Arsenal fans, don't worry. We are not gonna sign Serge Aurier. That's the most ridiculous rumour I've seen. We've just signed, the Japanese Tomiyasu, right, as a right back. We've kept Maitland-Niles, and you've got Cedric, and you've got Chambers who can play there. Why would we go and get Serge Aurier? Again, it's just journalists putting two and two together.
He's available.
People are talking about it, so this worked.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous.
Would you take him?
No. What do we need Serge Aurier for?
I wanted to see your
absolutely no chance. You know what I mean? No.
No? All right, well, listen.
We don't need Serge Aurier. You know what I mean? He's decent going forward,
he's not a bad player, Rob.
Can't defend. Chris Mills says, and we've got enough of those. Chris Mills says, we were playing Champions League in 08-09 with a lineup of Eduardo, Denilson, Clichy, Bentner, Abue, Song, Silvestre. this team is far better. It's Arteta. Well, that team didn't get very far, by the way.
Yeah.
I think as well, Chris, it's not just when you look at those players and you say, you are right, and Arsene Wenger really squeezed
He squeezed everything out of them. Yeah, he did.
But also, I think the standard of teams in this country weren't as good as they are now. You didn't, you've got now Man City, you've got Chelsea, Man United have just gone and done a mad one in the transfer market. You've got Liverpool, who weren't really doing anything in 08-09.
Yeah.
They're back, winning the leagues and stuff like that. You've got Leicester. You've even got, even look at some of the other teams like Wolves and all these teams. They've all improved. Every team in the Premier League has improved from those times.
So we've fallen far behind, is what you're saying. At that time, could those players compete with the big club? They were competing.
It's not so much it's not just falling behind. It's a matter of we haven't progressed. We stood still. Okay. And so a lot of those teams that I've just, those other teams, even like your Evertons and
Aston Villas,
your Wolves and your Aston Villas, they've improved.
Facts.
So that's why they've caught us up, and that's why we're finding it so difficult even to turn those teams over.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we can look on it and say with that lineup. And by the way, Eduardo was a good player until he got injured. I really rated Eduardo.
I liked Clichy as well, and I think Son was alright, but
Joseph Connor Golden says wanted Xhaka El Neni sold, to be fair. Cecil Robbie, I agree.
They're both out now. So
I felt the right time to sell Granit Xhaka. He said that he wanted to leave. I think we should have tried to have sold him. And El Neni, I think he's been an excellent squad player over the years. He always gives everything.
Yeah.
Never fought him on that.
No.
But he's not what we need. He's not good enough for Arsenal Football Club.
But he's not. Is he not good enough for what his value is? He's a £7 million player, Robbie. You're not happy for what?
This is not
he is. To me, he's a £7 million player. He does. He does.
The squad player can come in and do it. You know where I see Mohamed El Neni, where I see his strengths, right? Like you're playing in a game, you're winning 1-0, 2-0. There's like 15 minutes to go. You want someone who's going to come on and do a job for you. Work hard, win the ball, do whatever, he's perfect for that. But playing a full 90 minutes in a game, no, not for me. He's
he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be the first choice. I hear that. Quickly before you move on to that super chat, Xhaka as well. Were you confused by him not being sold? I know we wanted more money, but I thought you'd have thrived
under. Great opportunity to sell Granit Xhaka.
Mourinho and
Roma. Great
Roma.
Opportunity to sell Granit Xhaka. I don't think anybody would have moaned. Anyone would have complained.
No.
And we've given him a brand new contract, and and I felt a bit sorry. Well, I don't know if I feel sorry for him or if I actually blame him. Because in a way, I felt sorry for Arteta, because I'm like, if ever someone's let you down, you've put a lot of faith in that person.
Sticks by him.
He let you down in that way. He must have felt terrible. But then it was his decision to keep him. So, and we've seen it so many times from Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, same old story.
Mickey JJJ says the squad is potentially great. Arteta has lost the dressing room. Needs a fresh start to harness the potential. Shref says, I dislike the attitude problem. Some fans think we can't attract big players anymore due to no Champions League. Rubbish. We're one of the 7 biggest clubs on the planet. We lack showing killer attitude, money in the transfer window. He makes a good point.
I disagree.
I do feel that when you don't, there are certain players that if you don't have Champions League football, you're not going to get them. So Lautaro Martinez, who Arsenal were looking at from Inter Milan.
Yep.
Chatting to somebody who, they kind of know a little bit about it, and they were sort of saying that as soon as he likes Arsenal and that, but no Champions League. And he's a player that can, if he did leave Inter Milan, can go and play Champions League.
Facts.
And it's a big part.
Go on.
Sorry to cut you, but there are many other players that if you go to them and you say, this is Arsenal Football Club, this is what we are planning to do in the future, there are a lot of players that will come. So that's why he makes a good point.
Well, I'm going to put you big up, Chef, because I know you're a regular and he's always watching the content. But again, like I've said this many times, if I was a player looking at Arsenal and they came in for me, what's attracting me to go there? They're sitting bottom of the league. They've got a manager who's not going to progress me. If you look at all the players that have signed for Arsenal, none of them have really progressed in their career. Lee spoke about that. So for me, I see why big players don't want to really take the risk.
That's the point the guy's making. It's not just Champions League.
Oh, it's not just that. It's more the position and everything.
But it's you can attract good players without Champions League. You can. There's the very good players you can attract, but They want to know what your plans
is,
are.
and
if those plans are not showing ambition, then they're not going to come.
Yeah, word spreads within football, and obviously Aubameyang probably got sold a dream by Arteta when he re-signed the contract, and hasn't really fabricated. We're sitting last, so.
Mahesh says Xhaka should not replace Lokonga automatically. V should learn from Martinez's mistake. Arteta has made silly mistakes as a manager too many times. His game strategy is bad. We can't string 3 wins in a row. Jeff says thoughts on the Athletic reporting. Only one signing this window was completely agreed on between Arteta and Eddie.
I saw this.
And that was the signing of Odegaard.
Well, they're saying Arteta had hardly any involvement in the signings, Rob. I don't know if...
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, it's a lot of speculation, isn't it? Nobody really knows. I mean, I'm not gonna
speculate or give you.
Listen, and it's not every single time they're always going to agree on every signing. You know, so I'm not sure about that. I'd have to see more evidence. Andrea says, can't expose my source. Mari wants to leave next summer and to go back home to Spain. Do you think we'll replace him with experience, or will we give Saliba a chance to join the first team? Well, I definitely would like to see Saliba given a chance. Saliba and Mavropanos, and then he's saying Arrow,
Chambers versus holding
Arteta out. He doesn't want them out. He doesn't want them in. Arna Roy says, why didn't Arsenal go for Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Any idea how much money he would have cost? I think they would have asked for about
a lot.
At least 80 million.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
It's a young player.
60 to 80 million.
80,
probably closer to 80.
80.
Yeah,
80,
that's a lot of money for it. Do you think he'd be worth that?
No,
I was going to say.
Russell says, I'd like to see continuity in the side, in selection and formations. The upcoming games are a great chance to build consistency and get the new lads in and settled. You know what? It's time for my...
the chat. All right, just quickly. Former Arsenal defender Mustafi has joined Levante on a free transfer.
Levante. Right, again, no disrespect.
I thought it was my pronunciation. I was panicking.
To Levante, yeah? But this is what we're talking about, like, no big team came in for him. He was a free agent. Nobody was really interested in him.
When has an Arsenal player gone to a big... What's the last time an Arsenal player went to a big club? It's a hard question.
Alexis?
To Man United? Was that the last one? It probably was, actually. Let me think.
So I'm saying
was Giroud after that? He went to Chelsea?
Yeah. And this is why... This is why, in a way, I agree... in a way with the transfer policy, because they're trying to buy players. Ramsey on a free, we didn't get no money for him. So they're trying to buy players that at least have a sell-on value. Because we've had all these players, they've been worth nothing.
Yeah.
But when you look at a Mustafi, we spent £35 million on, who at the time was one of our most expensive signings.
Yeah, I remember.
And to see him going to Levante now, that just shows you...
It's ridiculous.
That, none of the big clubs around Europe are interested.
Let me get my 11 up. I've still got more news, but I'll let you. We'll go to 11. We're going to talk about the women's football. You know, it's up to you.
You want to do your...
you want to do mine first?
Who's going first?
I'll do mine, because you might say I copied you. I have a feeling because... Right, so we're doing strongest 11. Do let us know if you agree or...
Strongest 11 if everybody's fit for that Norwich game.
Let me just make a disclaimer here. I haven't seen a strong 11 from Arsenal for many years. So for me, I'm going off... I don't even know what I'm going off. I've got Tomiyasu in my team. I don't know how good he is, if I'm completely honest. So... We're just gonna go with it, but I haven't seen a strong 11. Here we go. So Leno in goal, not Ramsdale yet, but Leno in goal for now. I actually think he's been alright, shot stopper. Leno, Tomiyasu right back, Ben White right centre back, Gabriel left centre back, Kieran Tierney left back, Partey and Lokonga in the defensive midfield. I'm playing 4-2-3-1 by the way. Defensive midfield, then Odegaard in the 10, Smith Rowe left mid, Saka right mid. Aubameyang up front. Now, I'll go on.
4-2-3-1?
Yeah.
Right, I've gone 4-2-3-1. Leno.
Yeah.
Tomiyasu. The new right back.
But you haven't... So not Ainsley Maitland-Niles, not Cedric?
I was thinking of Ainsley... Not Cedric.
You got
I was thinking Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Yeah. I was as well, I'm going to be honest.
You know what? I want a bit of freshness in the team. I want to see some new faces, man. So I've gone Tomiyasu.
I don't know, yeah.
Ben White, Gabriel... Kieran Tierney.
Same back line, yeah.
2 in midfield, Partey and Sambi Lokonga.
Yeah.
Then Saka. There's a three in front of them of Saka, Odegaard and Smith Rowe and Aubameyang up front. It's exactly the same.
Because we know I'm not. Listen,
so if you know you're strong, and I never saw your 11, you never saw my 11. We got the 11 exactly the same. Let's see if Mikel Arteta, if all of these players are fit, goes with the same 11.
He won't, Robbie. I said, listen, last year when I kind of not first joined AFTV, I did a quiz, not a quiz, when I put a challenge out. I said, if you guys predict the starting 11 for the next game, I'll give you £10 bank transfer. I swore my life. I said I'll do it. Hundreds of comments, hundreds. I think there was like 458 comments. Not one person got the 11 right.
Would you have paid up?
I would have. Imagine if 100 people got it right, I'd have to pay £1,000. Like, it was a risk. It was a risk. 10 times 100. Am I wrong? Am I right?
You just said over 400 people.
Yeah, I know, but if 100
£10 each,
if 100,
£4 grand.
But if 100 got it right, if 400 got it, if they all got it
if
right,
100 got it right.
Yeah, I would have to pay £1,000, which I'd have been hurtful. Would have killed me. I'd be asking you, Rob. I beg you.
You didn't know me then. You just said.
No, I did. I was working here. I should do that again for the Norwich game, but you should do it.
No chance.
Bank transfer.
If he doesn't go with his team,
he's not going to.
If everybody's fit, I think the only one I look in there and say maybe Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
He hasn't actually played yet for Arsenal. Maybe he won't start with him. But I wouldn't start Cedric. I know you've got to love him with Cedric. I wouldn't start him.
He has been poor recently, but
he's been poor since he's come.
No, he hasn't.
What's he done?
He hasn't. He's to put some good deliveries, Rob. He's more consistent than what I've seen from Bellerin. Come on.
What's his defending like?
I think he defends pretty well. I think he's quite solid, I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't seen him get ripped
that?
too. There's the last game, is the only time I saw him actually get fully ripped, got to put it through his legs.
You were watching?
I've been watching, Rob. Come on, you're being harsh compared. You say Chambers is better than Cedric?
You said, right?
Go on.
At the start of the show, you said that you felt maybe Arteta should have gone after that game against Southampton.
Yeah.
In
the FA Cup.
You remember who gave the ball away in that game? It was Southampton's goal.
Was it Cedric that game? I thought it was in Europa League.
That was Cedric. I remember. And then he did it in the Europa League.
It was
Europa
League. It was Europa Cup. I'm sure it was Europa League.
Man. No, it's not good enough.
All right, let's talk about your strongest 11 and having no Pepe in there, considering you love Pepe. What happened to that?
I do like Pepe in there, but I'm just going. I think Smith
so he's not in your strongest 11.
Smith Rowe has started the season so well. I'd have Smith Rowe in there, and I want Saka in there playing on that right hand side. So that's why.
All right, because you were championing Pepe.
I'm sorry. No wonder Ainsley's angry.
Yeah, I agree.
When he's seen Cedric in front of him,
when he's don't do that. He's seen Chambers in front of him. He can be angry for that as well.
No, but Cedric was in front of him at the weekend.
Yeah, I know. But before that, so was Chambers, and then obviously Tavares.
See the second goal.
What for last week?
Yeah, against City.
Yeah, he went through. Yeah, I know.
I laugh, mate. I'm telling you.
Well, let's not forget Chambers was getting ripped up as well. Let's not forget that as well. Come on, we've got to be fair here.
Yeah, but that's why Ainsley should be. No wonder.
No, I can see why he's annoyed and he's going to social media.
Annoyed.
You know, I understand that. As a young player, I fully get that. He's probably gone to Arteta many times, said, "Look, I want to fight for the position," and just been ignored. And I told you spoke to a representative. I spoke to someone close to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and he said he wants to play right back. And then all week in training, Arteta was ignoring him and playing him in centre mid. And then obviously now he went out on social media, and now he's not with the first team.
Sophie Alaz. Right, I hope I pronounced that right. Mm-hmm. He says, why are Chambers and Cedric still in this club? I think that's a good shout. I think there's two others that could have been moved on as well. IB Conda says he play Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka and Aubameyang against City, but absolutely no threat. That's because they've got absolutely no service. And you know what? They started off the game well, and then we went 2-0 down. Goodbye, good night for them.
Yeah.
Aluminium 20 says he played Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel Tierney, Partey, Lokonga, Saka, Odegaard, Pepe, and Aubameyang. So that's a different one. It's gone with Ramsdale starting.
So did Turkish, I think. I think Turkish would have went with Ramsdale starting as well. So this is for the game against Norwich, though. This is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Usopp's rubber band says, dude, Cedric had 0 tackles, 0 duels.
Of course you read out that one.
44% passing last week.
Of course you read out that one.
That dude is the worst right back at the club.
Of course you read out that one.
0 tackles.
Of course you read out that one.
No. 0.
How do we know this is legit? We don't know this is legit. We don't know.
I saw that stat.
Oh, you saw it as well?
I saw that stat, yes. Right. 0 tackles.
Who's got Chambers' stats? I'll make someone throw him up.
0 tackles, 0 duels won. You used to play football. Yeah. What did they say to you when you would go before you go out on that pitch?
Make sure you win your one. Make sure you win your battles. Yeah,
win your battles.
One-on-ones.
He won 0 battles, 0 tackles.
He might have been really good going forward, putting crosses in. That's why you never know. Listen, no, Cedric, we can't give him too. I think Cedric's he's one of the best defenders.
Best defenders where?
Right backs in the club. I believe that.
No.
Didn't Mikel Arteta say that as well? He said. He said
it. I ain't seen it.
Best technically as well.
I ain't seen it. When we bought Cedric, I was baffled. I was like, I've said this so many times on the show. I was absolutely stunned. I'm like, we've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Bellerin battling out for this spot. That's not an area that we need right now.
I disagree.
That wasn't an area of extreme weakness.
I mean, what? Right? So you're saying Bellerin and Chambers were strong in that position?
No, I was saying there was more important areas to be sorted out. And if you are going to sort it out, you bring in a better right back. Not a guy that's like, he could barely get in the Southampton team.
People are on there backing you, but I don't know how people are telling me that Chambers and Bellerin are better right now than Cedric. I don't know how.
They are. They are. I agree with these guys.
Alright.
I agree with these guys.
Nah, no way.
Joel says Cedric passed the ball back when he was in a good crossing position in the last game. I remember that as well. Bottled it. Wasn't brave enough.
When Chambers played there as well.
Again, another senior player who didn't stand up.
Right, well, I'm
going.
I've got.
Best right back in the club. Why? Tell me why.
He's kicking deliverable. He's solid. He was solid. Okay, there was that one game last week. I'll be honest, it led to a goal. He got put through his legs. But that's the only time I've really seen him. That game and the game when he played out of position last season, played left back. I don't believe that was. I need to see the highlights of that game because I don't think he passed back in the Europa League Cup. I remember when he passed it back. I remember that, and you were like, "Oh, remember this your guy Cedric." But I don't remember him doing it in the FA Cup game. So I'll look back at that after.
As I said, that guy's spot on with 0 battles won. 0. That's terrible. Shref says Arsenal should have cancelled the contracts and moved on excess and unhappy squad players with negotiation skills. This was a chance for a fresh start. It's Arteta's Arsenal. It's very hard to just, you can't just cancel somebody's contract unless they want to go.
Yeah, mutual consent. It has to be mutual consent, yeah.
Eric says, my strongest 11, a 4-3-3 formation. Leno, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Sambi, Partey, Odegaard, Saka, Laka, Aubameyang. Bench, Smith Rowe, Pepe, Ainsley, Xhaka, Ramsdale, Mari and Nuno.
Stephen Campbell says Cedric is better than Chambers. I'm with Cecil. And on top of that, before last week Tomiyasu got signed, Robbie, I'm sure you had Cedric in your starting 11.
No, you
did. I'm sure you did.
No, I put Ainsley. No, I will put Ainsley in there. Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
I need to get these receipts.
Should be playing.
I need to get these receipts.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles should be playing as right back. If I don't play I'm only putting Tomiyasu in there because I want to see a fresh face and I'm excited to see what he's going to be like.
Okay.
Otherwise, Ainsley. Not Cedric. I think we should have sold him in the window.
You're a Cedric hater.
I'm not a hater. I don't hate any of our players. But I just feel that he's had chances, and what's he done?
The game against Southampton, when the game against Southampton, this is it. He assisted a goal.
Who?
Cedric. I'm sure we're gonna.
He assisted a goal for Southampton.
Oh my god! For goodness sake! I'm gonna get the highlights. Anyway, go on.
Ghana Paffy says, "I'll tell you what's the problem in both of your 11s. What's the change from last season? Ben and TT only, but that wasn't the problem last season. They have the same attack and we finish 8th. But it's about. I do feel as well that we didn't have enough dynamism down the flanks. I'm hoping that Tomiyasu brings that. I'm really hoping he can bring that. Dake-S95 says, guys, remember Liverpool signed a Chelsea reject, 100th player from Southampton, and some nobody from Hoffenheim. Give our signings a chance. Of course.
Well, I hear that.
You've got to give the signings a chance.
Rob, just go back to that last question. Did he say we had the same 11? We didn't. Lukonga's different. The right back's different.
Yeah, he said Ben White and Tomiyasu, but no, you're right. There's also
Conga's in there. We haven't really seen enough of Partey. Well, I know Partey was in there. We haven't really seen enough of him last season. I think I don't know how many he played hardly any games.
Next week will be a big game for Ben White if he's past fit.
Yeah, it would actually.
Feel sorry for him as soon as he's come in.
He's been judged.
COVID,
and he's been judged.
Played one game, and everybody's what a waste of money. You got spun. It's one game. One. Please. That's where I do think things that, you could, listen, you can get spun in your first game.
Yeah.
It's one game. A player comes in, they're nervous. One game. Good job we didn't judge, Dennis Bergkamp after one game.
And Pierre-Emerick, boy.
Judge him off for 5 games.
Pierre-Emerick didn't start well either.
It's one game. I know we're all desperate because we're in such a bad situation, so we need people to step up now, but it's one game.
Yeah.
Just the same as if somebody plays really well in one game. Again, fantastic, brilliant, but I need to see more.
Gunning you down says Cedric crossed from left back position to Lacazette was the assist Cecil was talking about.
What about the mistake in the game?
He didn't. I don't think he did a mistake in that game. I'm telling you, Rob. I'm telling you. We're going to get it up. I know it's a Europa League game, and I remember that's the only one.
Who made that mistake in that game?
I'll get it up. I swear to God.
Southampton. It was Southampton.
Was it the FA Cup game?
The FA Cup game against Southampton. There was a mistake made. And I'm sure it was Cedric. Find the highlights of it.
You don't know.
Right, I'll still leave this. Find the highlights of it and show me. Or Josh, find the highlights of it and show me. Right, I know it was Cedric. And that wasn't the first one. And he made another one, I think it was about a week or 2 weeks after, in the Europa League.
No, I remember the Europa League one.
It says Arsenal should bring back Kim Kallstrom. Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Shref says, Robbie, we froze out Ozil, remember? Could have applied the same strategy. Players like Cedric were never consistent and not given the time for integration at Arsenal. This other one.
If I find
Messi ending says Chambers has been here for years and he's poor. Cedric played a handful of games since he's been here. If he's played 10 plus games in a row, I think he would be the best right back we have. I mean, you can argue some of that, the inconsistencies of playing him.
What playing?
So you got the highlights.
I'm getting it up. Yeah.
You find that first goal, right? And don't bother skip it if it don't go your way. I know what you're like. Samuel says, as a United fan,
keep your eyes on the screen.
I think Xhaka is the best midfielder at Arsenal, even if he's reckless sometimes.
Because you're a United fan.
Also, when he has a bad game, if often because of Arteta's tactics. Big up everyone. You found that goal here?
Hold on, it's coming. Oh, please don't be it here.
Huh?
No, I'm just checking where the goal comes from. That's not his fault, man.
Wait a minute.
That's not his fault, man.
Wait a minute.
You lot in the comments are on Robbie, yeah? You're on him, twerking for Robbie, yeah? Because he's
look at that. Look at that. Perfect. But even before that, what's that? That's their first goal, yeah?
Yeah, this only scored one goal. It's 1-0.
Right, we're leading up to that goal. I'm sure
it was Gabriel that touched it in his own net. So right? let's.
No, wait a minute. Look at his pathetic way. That's.
The cross though, fam.
Yeah, you should have. Look at that. Look at that coming in.
Rob, wait a minute. You're on the ropes. You're on the ropes, my guy.
Look at it.
That's not. It's gone through his legs, and it's Gabriel's tapped.
And then show me the other goal.
You lot twerking for Robbie in the comments. I told you.
There's 2 goals in that.
It's 1-0. We crashed out. This was it. Saints. This was 7 months. Here we go.
Was it 1-0?
Yeah, 1-0 in the 4th round. You don't, bro.
Look at that pathetic.
You see, you lot. Look at back in my man.
Wait a minute.
Do your research.
Wait a minute. Look at that pathetic. Go
watch it. Here. No, I'll get it to you. That's not it. That's not it. It's back here. Hold on. Right. Go forward.
Sorry,
people.
Bear with us. Yeah.
Click this up.
No, wait a minute.
This is it. Look.
No, leading up to the goal, I want to see more.
Yeah, here we go. Look, there he is. He's covering his man.
Before that. Right.
This is the highlight, so you have to go there. Sorry, people, bear with us. But I told you lot. You lot love these things. This guy's the voice. Listen.
Bear with us.
He's scrambling.
There's another one of your guys who's picking up Willian.
I never put this guy. Willian out. For Holic.
Bear with us. Right.
Here it comes. It's after this. Look, boom. Here, right?
It's not even showing the full.
No, it's just. Look, so there, he has to tuck in. He has to tuck in because that guy's free.
He's not.
And the other guy's coming.
Look where he is now. Look at his position. And does he stop the cross from coming in? No.
Guys, when you have time, go check out the highlights of that game. 7 months ago, we lost 1-0.
Honestly.
You make a decision. You see if I'm
wait a minute. Can you find this one? Because Sidaf says, Robbie, it was not Southampton, it was Aston Villa away, where Cedric gave the ball away and they scored in the first minute. That's it. Actually, I think, find that one. Aston Villa away.
Was he playing out of position? Was he playing left back?
Not worth. Find it. Find it.
All right.
Find it.
All right.
Think about this playing out of position. The guy's a bloody professional footballer, man.
Listen, was this when we lost 3-0 to Villa? Because if it was, then everyone had a bad game.
Find it. Yeah? Find it. You know, you're backing out as well, you know? Cedric made a mistake in the Aston Villa game, says dead shot 12-21. Armadas says, Robbie, it wasn't Southampton game, it was the Aston Villa game.
You've seen it. But
right,
listen,
Josh,
was he out of position? Was he out of position? Hold on. Was he out of position? Hold on.
But even in that other one, what we just saw, he didn't block the cross from coming in.
Robbie, you're being harsh, man. There's been such worse.
Didn't you used to play football?
Yes, I did, to a very high level. But okay, fair enough, it went through his leg.
Is that what you did? Is that what you did?
But it wasn't his fault.
That's probably why you were in. Let me see that one. Josh, bring it over here. Let me see that. Let me see that one.
Oh my days. Are we blaming this on Cedric as well?
Right, look. Oh yeah, here it is.
Okay, yeah, that pass. But still, even. Do you know what?
Pathetic.
Right? Oh my God, this is stressing me out.
Yeah, great right back. You know what? Right? Great right back.
Right, you know what?
Come on, man.
Was he playing left back out of position there? I think that's the one mistake he made.
Says bring back Abue. I tell you what, man, Abue wasn't even as bad as that. You know, big up Abue.
I look off the stream, bro. I need to get the gloves out and just start pumping up.
Dakar says, I'll twerk my arse off if it means Arteta gets to the top 4.
Oh my days.
Raw Talk 27 says, to be honest, we need a miracle to finish in the top 10 this season. Based on how we started, all the performances we put in have not been good enough. It's very true. And I was talking about this, I think I said it yesterday. I've spoken about this. I said it to you guys earlier when we were talking in that meeting, and I was saying that, you know, Mikel Arteta's job is to make these players better.
Yeah.
You know? Has
he progressed any players?
He hasn't, and this is what starting from, I think what he's got to do now, Mikel Arteta, write off all the games it's been so far.
Yep.
Write them off. Clear that from your memory.
Yep.
It starts now. Against Norwich, performance. Against Burnley, performance. Against Tottenham at home, performance. Do those in those 3 games, and fans will start to turn the other direction.
Yeah,
fans will start to say, well, you know what? We got off to a terrible start, but Mikel's turning the corner. It can be done, you know.
No, it can, Rob, but it needs a style of play. It needs an identity, and I don't see that. Obviously, you said right off the first 3 games, but I don't even see him finding an identity, or a style of play going forward. That's what we're trying to buy into. There's nothing. Even with the signings, there's not a massive signing to be like, I'm excited to see this player. I can't buy into that. Go on.
Yeah, but it's his job to make, like Tuchel at Chelsea has made
Alonso, Jorginho, all those players.
Rudiger and all these players better. The same players that they wanted out, the fans, that he's made better. Jorginho, like you said, Alonso. You know, he's improved these players that the Chelsea fans wanted gone. That's what Arteta needs to do, and it starts now. Shref says, Robbie caught out by Cecil.
Facts.
Just like he gets caught out by clever crafted super chats. We had Bellerin who can't do a throw in, no point in getting on Cedric.
I'm going to get some clips.
Hector Bellerin, we know, had fallen off. We knew that. But I'm saying Ainsley should have been playing. No?
I'm going to get some clips, because I think after that game, right, when that mistake went in of the Southampton one, people were saying it's not Cedric's fault. I'm sure you was on that bandwagon. The keeper, it was the keeper could have saved it. Gabriel, it was an own goal from Gabriel, so we'll come back to it.
Well, I'll tell you what though, let's not go back too far in the past. Again, last week's game, what the guy said.
He's on the ropes.
He's
on the ropes.
On the ropes, no duels won. That is disgusting.
And let me get that stat. Let me just check this. I know, okay. Move. What else have we got here?
No duels won. Mark S says, guys, do you think we will ever see Saliba, Guendouzi and Torreira again? They can't convince me that Xhaka, El Neni and the defence we use against City are better than the players out on loan. How do you argue against that? I mean,
that's true.
I'd love to see. I hope Saliba comes back. Guendouzi we won't see again.
Did you want Guendouzi and Torreira to stay, honestly? Because I
wouldn't mind seeing Torreira stay.
Yeah.
Guendouzi just got into the French team. Called up. Again, has he been dealt with? Has he been handled right? Sidnav says 4-2-3-1. Ramsdale, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, White, Gabriel, Tavares, Partey, Sambi Lokonga, Saka, Odegaard, Pepe and Lacazette. I won't think he would play Aubameyang, red list nation.
So what? No Tierney either though. That's a bold move. Very bold move.
Is Gabon in the red list?
Huh? Why'd you say that? Red list. Oh, I won't think he would play.
Because if you're in the red list, isn't it? When
Yeah,
you come back,
you
you've got to
can't
quarantine
play.
for 10 days.
Could be, but no, they're not. I don't know.
I'm not sure on that.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure.
I will double check that.
Hopefully not. Oh my gosh. See, that's another thing we've got to take into account, isn't it? When and all this COVID. I mean, listen, even going on that, these are the areas. And it's the other day people was getting at me and saying, "Hey, Robbie, mitigation." But you've got to take it into account. It has been. That's where I do feel a bit sorry for Arteta. It's been a bit harsh on him.
The COVID, players being out.
Players falling with COVID, and Ben White. He's just bought the guy, and I mean, it's his guy, £50 million, and then he gets COVID.
Is that an excuse or not? Is it actually a fair point? Do you actually feel sorry? Because obviously Aubameyang, you're right. Aubameyang was out, Laka was out of COVID, Ben White, Willian, Xhaka.
It's a lot of players.
It's a lot.
And there was an argument that he should. That game should actually have been cancelled against Brentford.
Yeah, I heard that.
There's a lot of speculation that it was going to get cancelled. So that tells you that the preparation weren't great. But
I would prefer it to be cancelled than
turn it around, Mikel Arteta, please turn it around so that we look back on these games and we can make excuses for it. Do you know what I mean? But if Lee said something. Got to.
He's right. Lee said it's football. Things can turn around. If you go on a run from the Norwich game, obviously you win. You beat Burnley. You beat Tottenham, and then you beat Brighton. I mean, everyone forgets about. Well, they kind of forget about the first 3 games. So that could be possible. I think there's games that are definitely winnable for Arsenal with the players we have. The next upcoming games. There was a lot of obviously uproar against Chelsea and Man City, but realistically, I was kind of at a place where I didn't expect us to win those games anyway. So the Brentford one was the only one that really, really stung me. You can turn it around.
I was stung by last week as well, and Chelsea, because it was the performances that were so bad.
Sorry.
Mohammed says, how is Saliba not playing in our club?
Someone said check Wheatley's tweet. It's just Jose Mourinho comments on Granit Xhaka's latest Instagram post encouraging the Arsenal midfielder to get vaccinated against COVID-19. He messages on Instagram, get the jab, Granit, and be safe.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That the talk is that Granit Xhaka has not been jabbed, he refused to take the jab. Yeah. And now he's got COVID, and it's an interesting one. This because should the players get the jab? Should they definitely get the jab? Because
I think FIFA and UEFA, they came out and said the players don't have to if they don't want to, but I suppose...
If you don't get the jab and then you get COVID and you're out.
Yeah, it's happened a lot. For Arsenal, like we said before... Have
you let the team down?
I'm gonna disagree with that. I don't think you let the team down because like you said, you can catch COVID regardless, even if you have the jab or not. It's just the symptoms you may not get as worse. So I'm against that, Rob. I think it's unfair to say you let the team down.
No, I'm just asking the question.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not saying he did, but I'm just saying.
No, I disagree.
He didn't get the jab, did he? And
he didn't. He refuses. I think
they said he's the first player that's like, and that's come out where. He's got COVID because he didn't get the jab. He's
openly said that he's not getting it done. Yeah, that's what they're saying. I think that's what they're trying to push. And I think Turkey spoke about it as well. I think it's unfair that they push that narrative. That's what the media's doing. They're saying he's refusing to get the jab and he's now got COVID. But why do we need to know that? I don't think we need to know that if he's refusing to get the jab or not. It's his decision. If he's got COVID, he's got COVID. We don't hear about every player that's caught COVID and may not have the jab. I don't know about who else got the jab? There you go. Aubameyang and Laka. They're the vaccine. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes like the media, like the refs. It
don't matter anyway because he's out for 3 games anyway. So
that's true.
He could go in quarantine for the next 3 weeks, isn't it? Because he can't play because he's out.
Yeah. It's this the COVID talk. It frustrates me.
Xhaka, the controversy just follows him.
Do you feel sorry for him that it's always him? Because obviously he got red carded, Rob, and Pogba on the same week did the exact same, if not worse.
Yeah, it was worse.
And he didn't get any.
The problem is with Granit Xhaka is that he needs to use his head a bit more. He's a marked man by the referees.
Yeah,
because he's been sent off so many times, and
that's not fair in itself.
Unfortunately, it's facts. So he has to be smarter than that. And when when he made that tackle, he didn't need to make it. Look where it is. It's not even like it's like, you know, it's 1-1 and we're near the end of the game. You know what I mean?
Do you think frustration had a part to play in it? It was 2-0 down at the time.
To me, it was definitely frustration because he did not need to jump in like he did. He could have made that tackle without jumping in. I was right behind it. He could have made that tackle without jumping in. I was kind of surprised by the way he jumped in like that. And what happened?
Red card, same old story.
Red card.
I'm just going to say Arsenal women, I know this is just a bit off topic, I'm just going to read that they've agreed personal terms with Tobin Heath, two-time World Cup winner.
Signing,
yeah, US forward on a free transfer from United.
Don't forget, the women's team are playing on Sunday. They're playing at the Emirates Stadium against Chelsea, who of course are they're the champions of this country. But that should be a great game.
That will be.
Pippa's going to be down there after the game as well. She's going to be interviewing fans as well. So make sure you check that out. The women's game, by the way, this year is going to have a lot higher profile.
A lot of coverage as well, yeah.
They're covering it on, I think, Sky, or they're covering it. I think BBC are going to be doing some of the games. BBC are going to be doing it on the radio as well. So it's good to see the women's game really growing. And I've been to see quite a few women's games, and I'll tell you, it's really entertaining to go and watch.
It is.
So if you haven't got nothing to do on Sunday and you're looking for a great game to go and watch, get down to the Emirates, get a ticket, get down to the Emirates and watch that game. That's going to be good.
That will be good.
Arsenal versus Chelsea, some really, really top players on show. Big up Liam Williamson that we saw
the classic
the other night of the event. So
shirt.
Good luck to the ladies on Sunday. And you know one person who will definitely be there?
Ty,
he'll be there.
Big up Ty.
Michael says, if Arsenal were to do it, do you guys think now's the perfect time to sack Arteta or not?
I'm going to say, this is going to be a controversial one. I'm going to say no. I don't think...
Because earlier on you said you...
I'm Arteta out. No, I am. Wait for it. Just let me explain. Let me land. Jesus, Louise. So... for me, Arteta, this job's too big for me, in my opinion. However, if we got rid of him, who comes in? People are going to shout, Conte. Let's be real, Conte's not going to come because the owners aren't going to have Conte come to this club, bro. You know this as well. They want a yes man, they want a puppet. That's why currently Arteta's probably sitting in a job because, you know, he was cheap option, and they do what he says. Conte's not going to do that. He's not going to have that. In Inter Milan, he left because they weren't giving him what he wanted. He turned down Tottenham because they weren't going to give him what he wanted. He's not going to come to Arsenal. Let's be real. So, who do we get? If we get rid of Arteta, people are saying Eddie Howe. I don't want Eddie Howe. People are laughing and joking, saying Big Sam. Don't want that either. Arteta's got his players. He's got his signings. Yes, at the moment he's been abysmal, but just... I hate to say it, we have to stick with him until, I don't know when. I'll give it to, I say North London Derby's probably going to be his,
listen, they're not going to sack him now, and so there's no point in talking about it, and I don't think anybody should be talking about sacking him right now. He would have been sacked already after that last job. After that last game against City, he's completed the transfer business. I'd say... tear up what's happened in the first 3 games and let's judge him from now. But he's on thin ice. He has to win the next game for me. Can't lose to Norwich. He needs to get minimum 7 points out of the next 3 games for me.
So that's Norwich,
if he gets
Burnley and Tottenham. On. So that's...
If he gets that, we have to continue with him.
Okay.
If he was to lose...
So 2 wins and a draw.
The next game, I think is untenable. If he was to lose 2 out of the next 3, I still think that's untenable. It'll be 3 points after 5 games. That puts us in serious issues. So, and I disagree with this thing about Conte. If ambition is shown, a manager like that will come, and we cannot afford to let elite managers pass us by.
Agreed.
Cirque says, hi there, chaps. I don't know what to think about Arteta. Comes in, plays good football and wins the FA Cup. But what did it for me was when he put the false 9 that day after Pep did it. He said it was a clown move.
That was a big clown move.
And that really angered me.
That was a big clown move.
I ain't gonna lie.
Quickly.
And Shrev says, Cecil, it's not about chances of getting COVID. It's about acting responsible. It's like saying a seatbelt in a car is useless. You need to act right.
Okay, that's your opinion. That's your opinion, isn't it? Fair.
Should he be paid?
Should he be paid? Should he be
He's
paid?
out. He's out now. He's out for 10 days. Gonna have to quarantine or stuff like that. Should he be paid for that 10 days? When he refused to take.
It's sick pay. I mean, yeah, he works like a normal contract. Does he deserve to be paid for being? Would you say? It's hard for me to even be like, is it him being irresponsible for not getting the jab? Because at the end of the day, even if he had the jab again, he could still contract COVID-19. So should he be paid? Yes, I believe so. It's part of your contract. If you get sick, you get paid while you get sick. That's just how it goes. I want to ask you, Rob, quick. In January, I know it's a long way off. In the January window, what needs to happen? As in, do we still need to make more signings, or what players you think? Listen, you might need to go. I know it's a long way to look forward, but January window.
What
needs to happen? What do you predict?
Still
What do you want?
players that need to leave, but it's really hard for me to predict until I see what we do, how we start playing with the new signings in. I want to give these new signings a chance to see how they do. I want to give Ben White a chance. Let's see what he does. Let's give Tommy Yasu a chance. Let's give, all the signings, Nuno Tavares, Aaron Ramsdale. I want to see what they all do first.
Yeah.
And then we can say what we need, in January.
Still need outgoings? Still need players to
Yeah,
leave?
there's still players that need to leave, but,
It's quite bare, right?
I want to see, because January is one of those windows where, listen, if you haven't got your business done properly now, January is one of those times where it's loan moves and things like that, So I want to see what's done, what these players do,
capable of,
before I assess what is required. And a guy makes a point there. This guy here, News X, he says new midfielders in January, Partey and El Neni will be off to AFCON.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So will,
midfielders are going to be.
So will Pepe, I think.
Yeah, Pepe. Aubameyang might be as well. El Neni. He said that. He said El Neni, didn't he?
El Neni will be,
Egypt.
yes,
Yeah.
El Neni will be as well.
Latin Latencies Music says, do you think getting rid of Arteta could potentially hurt the long-time consistency with the team that needs to develop the team to win a title in a few years? So basically saying if we get rid of him, does that put us back to square one?
Mikel Arteta's obviously got, and they've obviously got a long-term plan, and that's what they put together. Hopefully they can see it through. But how football works is, if you don't see it through, they bring in somebody else in to manage those players, and you never know. Then the next person might come in and do a better job.
They've got a long-term plan, Robbie. It just doesn't make any sense. But all from the top to the bottom, I don't understand it. They say trust the process and all of that, but I don't see any signs of one.
There is a process. Let's be real. There is a process.
Rob, don't do this.
It's facts. It takes time.
How? It's been like 16 years. We've won a few FA Cups.
I'm talking about their process.
Okay.
There is a process. We've got to be fair to him.
Was being bottom of the league part of it?
No, obviously, but that's the unacceptable part of this process, is that you find it very difficult to trust it when you look at what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Okay.
GOF says being vaccinated greatly reduces the chance of getting infected. Please stop saying it doesn't matter, because he can still get it anyways.
All right.
And was it responsible of him? I'm just saying. I mean, because
that's not responsible of him.
There has been fingers pointed at him saying that, as a footballer, I don't know. I'm going to do the last couple because we have gone past 7 o'clock. The show has flown past today.
How's this? Because you've been not defending Cedric.
Huh? You're defending Cedric.
Yeah, because you haven't been defending him.
No, but because I'm just fed up of all the defence making. It's not just Cedric, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I'm just fed up of the mistakes, the schoolboy errors that I see made at this club.
Yeah.
It's from last season to now. And then when I saw Cedric last week just dangle out a foot, half-hearted, and that ball just bounced through, I was just like,
that Man City one.
What is going on? What is going on? Let me do one more. This one here, Chibe, he says, Wenger in as caretaker manager until the next manager comes. And we were discussing this earlier, and Chris Hudson was on the show a couple of nights ago. He spoke about it, and I've seen this in the newspapers today where they're talking about possibly. Would you be up for that?
No.
All right, let me give you a scenario.
Go on.
Mikel Arteta gets sacked.
Yep.
Arsenal want Conte or one of them. Conte says, okay, I'll come, but I'm working on Sky at the moment in Italy. I'll come at the end of my term, the end of the season. You bring in? Would you bring Wenger in for caretaker?
I haven't even got the answer for this one. I'm gonna be honest. It'd be an embarrassment. I think it will for certain parts of what we went through. People just wanting to get him out. I'm gonna be honest. I hold Wenger quite close to my heart. I think he brings a lot of class. I think he did leave it too long to leave, 100%. And a lot of the reasons why we're where we are is because of him. But I don't know. That question is so tough. If Conte's coming, you say Conte's coming. No, I'm being I haven't, because I said no, because he's not ready for that. Rob, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I can't answer that question.
Right,
I don't know.
You guys out there.
What you answer it.
Let me do this last one. Rejoy says, what exactly is the process? Strip the club of all the deadwood, get relegated, lower fan expectations, so much so that people can keep buying merch. We've come to the end of the show. Are you not going to answer the question? I will answer that on Monday, right? I'll be back on Monday and I will answer that.
This guy.
Right, let me give you the weekend to think about it, right? So on Monday I will answer that on the show, right? Well, thanks for watching the show today. Really enjoyed it.
Big up.
Big up, Cecil.
Thank you, Rob.
It was a lot of fun today. Have yourself a great weekend. No football this weekend. Well, no Arsenal this weekend. Might be a good thing. I mean, it gives us a weekend to chill until next week, because next week is a big weekend. And
big game.
You say, what, we're playing Norwich? No. It's a 6-pointer. We've got to win that game. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV, and we will see you tomorrow.
Peace.